If you clicked on this video, there's a good chance that you have fond memories of Teen Titans, the beloved 2000s cartoon about the, well, Teen Titans. But does the show hold up? Is Teen Titans as good as you remember? Yes. Yes. In fact, I'd argue that Teen Titans is better than you remember. And today, I'm going to tell you why. If there's any secret to Teen Titans' success as a show, it's the Teen Titans. Oh, okay, what I mean by that is, above all else, this series is interested in exploring the characters of its main cast: Robin, Starfire, Cyborg, Beast Boy, and Raven. It's these characters and the relationships between these characters that drive the story forward, and this is made clear from the very first episode. After Robin and Cyborg get into an argument, Cyborg quits the team, and we get to see how the rest of the Titans cope with this loss.
Hello, Cy. Pick up. Come on, Cy, pick up. I know you're there. The phone's built in your arm.
Try. The displeasing taste will ease your troubled mind.
My mind is never troubled. People come, people go. It's pointless to be upset about Cyborg. What?
Beast Boy doggedly attempts to convince Cyborg to return, Starfire plays the peacemaker in an attempt to keep the rest of her friends together, Raven pretends that she's not bothered by Cyborg's departure in an attempt to deny her emotions, and Robin throws himself into a workout in an attempt to distract from him missing his friend. Cyborg, of course, is absent and chooses to avoid this conflict rather than to address it. From this one scene, we understand how these five respond to interpersonal conflict using this very obscure writing trick known as show, don't tell. Teen Titans continues to employ this storytelling device with the leader of the team and the best character on the show, Robin. As the leader, Robin bears a lot of responsibility and puts a lot of pressure on himself, to the point that it often becomes dangerous. Antagonized by his nemesis, Slade, Robin becomes obsessed with stopping Slade's maniacal plans, to the point that he breaks the law and even battles the Titans as a means of hunting Slade. It's Slade's ability to bring out the worst in Robin that makes the two so alike, and what leads Robin to frequently bend his code of ethics in order to achieve his goals. It's this moral gray area that Robin operates in that makes him such a fascinating character, but despite this, it's Robin's ability to understand and empathize with his teammates that makes him such an effective leader. And believe it or not, Teen Titans makes Robin compelling without ever saying the word Batman. But enough about Robin. Let's talk about the most optimistic member of the team and the best character on the show, Starfire. While Starfire is the most naive member of the group, her innocence is never construed as a lack of intelligence. Quite the opposite, in fact. Starfire is someone who sees the best in people, even when she doesn't always see the best in herself. In the series' second episode, Starfire feels abandoned by the Titans and worries that her teammates will replace her with her cooler older sister. Starfire's compassion for those around her, even the people who don't treat her well, is perhaps her most defining characteristic. This is best exemplified in the episode Trock, where a newly introduced character, Val Yor, repeatedly demeans Starfire and calls her the alien equivalent of a racial slur. What's so great about this episode is that Val Yor isn't the villain, at least as far as the plot is concerned. He's a hero whom the rest of the Titans initially idolize. Only when Starfire reveals to them how he has mistreated her, do the Titans immediately take Starfire's side and ask her how she would like to handle the situation. Val Yor's pathetic excuses for his racism are denounced entirely by the Titans, and despite everything, Starfire still saves Val Yor's life and treats him with compassion.
I'm sorry Val Yor treated you like that. If I'd known, I never would have let it happen.
None of us would.
There is nothing you could have done. There will always be people who say mean words because you are different, and sometimes their minds cannot be changed. But there are many more people who do not judge others based on how they look or where they are from. Those are the people whose words truly matter.
The fact that a kids show covered a topic like racism with an actual level of nuance is really amazing, and it highlights how resilient and positive a person Starfire is. But enough about Starfire. Let's talk about the most driven member of the team, and the best character on the show, Cyborg. Cyborg's central struggle in the series is right there in his name, Cyborg. Being a teenager is hard enough, but being a half-man, half-robot only adds to that challenge. What works so well about Cyborg in this series is that he is almost normal. He can go to the park with his friends and throw a football around, until he can't. Cyborg is often very close to obtaining a normal life, but he is constantly reminded that that's exactly what he'll never have. What makes Cyborg such a relatable and inspiring character is his determination to be his best self despite his abnormal physiology. Cyborg is always pushing himself to and over his limits because he wants to help as many people as he can. In Season 3, when the evil Brother Blood uses Cyborg's own technology to create deadly, city-leveling weapons, Cyborg considers it his responsibility to stop Blood, even if it means being literally torn limb from limb. If that doesn't make Cyborg a hero, I don't know what does.
Booyah.
But enough about Cyborg. Let's talk about the only vegetarian member of the team, and the best character on the show, Beast Boy. Initially, Beast Boy probably comes off as the least complex Titan, someone who's only there to fill the role of comedic relief. But that is not the case. In Season 5, we learn about Beast Boy's backstory, how he grew up in the Doom Patrol, a superhero team that, in this show, operates very differently from the Teen Titans. Beast Boy's never-ending quest for attention suddenly makes perfect sense when you realize his role in his original team. The kid who cared too much, who was constantly shot down by his authority figures. Beast Boy is so used to feeling excluded that once he joins the Titans, he overcompensates in an attempt to feel included. A small detail like that goes a long way in recontextualizing Beast Boy's behavior throughout the entire series. If there's any secret to exploring these characters so effectively, it's Teen Titans' ability to slowly peel back the layers of its characters. And if there's any other secret to exploring these characters so effectively, it's the one-dimensional villains. No, really, hear me out. Nearly every villain in Teen Titans is not complex. Their motivations and ideologies beyond robbing a bank or besting the Titans is rarely delved into, but it doesn't matter that the villains aren't interesting on their own, because they almost always draw something interesting out of the Titans. For example, when Cyborg is struggling with the limitations of his robot half, this overly competitive robot named Atlas challenges him to a duel, and it further entrenches Cyborg into this struggle, ultimately causing him to learn that his human half will always be the strongest part of him. Atlas has no real redeeming qualities or motives beyond proving himself, a robot, as superior to the humans around him, but he's the perfect villain in this episode to give Cyborg a change in perspective. Take also the Puppet King, who employs some unexplained magic or technology that allows him to transfer people's consciousness into puppets and then take control of their real bodies for his own bidding. Well, in a bizarre Freaky Friday-esque mishap, Starfire and Raven end up swapping bodies, which puts them each in a challenging scenario. Starfire's powers are controlled by embracing her emotions, whereas Raven's powers are controlled by suppressing her emotions. That presents a really interesting challenge for both Star and Raven, which forces them to grow as people. Even the main villain of the series, Slade, has very vague and undefined motivations. His ultimate goal seems to be to destroy the entire city. Like, the dude is very obviously an outcast of society, but we never learn his backstory or the true rationale behind his villainy. And we don't need to, because of how he brings nuance to Robin and the rest of the team.
All you care about is destruction.
And all you care about, you destroy.
He's constantly forcing the Titans into desperate scenarios that create conflict within the group. And that strength in the writing is backed up by Ron Perlman's iconic performance. There's just something about Perlman's delivery that instantly communicates that this man is hollow inside. Slade is played as extremely detached, but also as someone whose rage boils deep below the surface. And while almost always confident and in control of any given situation, you can tell that Slade could snap at a moment's notice, giving him an intimidating and captivating on-screen presence. In direct contrast to Slade, many of the show's villains are goofy as all heck. Mad Mod has the goal of turning the entire city under British rule. Control Freak is an obsessive fanboy who traps the Titans in a series of television programs, and Ding Dong Daddy is a character named Ding Dong Daddy. While villains like these don't always result in explosive moments of growth for the Titans, they always provide a hilarious and often trippy adventure for them to weather. As a whole though, Teen Titans uses its villains really darn well to tell streamlined, character-driven stories about its main cast. And if there's any other secret to telling streamlined, character-driven stories like this, it's the nonsensical setting. The lack of realism in the world that the Titans occupy is turned into an enormous strength. As far as the show is concerned, the police don't exist. The Titans are the city's only crime-fighting force. Collateral damage is never an issue that the Titans face while battling foes in the city, and the city itself isn't ever named in the show. As I said at the beginning of the video, this show cares most about the Teen Titans, and it does an amazing job at trimming away anything that gets in the way of exploring these characters. Even the Titans' alter egos don't really exist in this universe. When the Titans go out to grab a pizza, they go as the Teen Titans. You'll never once hear a character in this show say Victor Stone or Dick Grayson. And you don't need to. Even the way this universe is constructed is in service of fleshing out the Titans, and that often means employing a very wacky tone for the show. This wacky tone is boosted by the immensely expressive and anime-inspired art style. Just look at how exaggerated some of these comedic moments are. The show's action and the characters' reactions are all dialed up to 11. While Teen Titans Go is undoubtedly goofier by contrast, the original Teen Titans cartoon was unafraid to be absolutely ridiculous, and the results are delightful.
Observe, I am a Rorfian Zopgar. On my planet, this is hilarious.
Yet despite Teen Titans' emphasis on comedy, there isn't any tonal whiplash. When it's time for the show to get serious, the show commits to being serious, and it doesn't undercut the drama of a scene for the sake of making the audience laugh. That's why you can have moments like this.
Robin, calling Robin.
Robin here, over.
No, not you, Robin. The other Robin.
What's up, Robin?
Well, this is just disturbing.
Exist alongside moments like this.
I am the thing that keeps you up at night. The evil that haunts every dark corner of your mind. I will never rest. And neither will you.
With each of these scenes feeling appropriate to appear in the same show. But enough delaying. Let's talk about the most complex member of the team, and the best character on the show, Raven. Raven spent her entire life believing, knowing, that she would end the world when she turned 16. She spent her entire life knowing that if she lost control of her emotions, people around her would get hurt. So she took the only possible path before her. She refused to display her emotions and give in to them. Yet on the surface, while Raven may seem to care the least, she actually cares the most about people. When she realizes that the apocalypse is upon her and it's everybody's last day on Earth, she does everything in her power to make that day the best it can be for her friends. And as seemingly out of character this is to the rest of the Titans, Robin has the emotional intelligence to encourage this behavior from Raven, rather than to question it or invalidate it. My favorite scene from the entire series is at the end of Season 4, after Raven manages to defeat Trigon and stop the apocalypse despite all odds being against her.
After everything that happened, everything I did, how did you still manage to hope it could all work out?
Because of you. You don't realize it, Raven, but you're actually the most hopeful person I've ever met. From the day you were born, they said you were evil, that you were created to do unspeakable things. But you wished for more. You dared to hope that you could be a hero.
This is a simple moment, but it shows that Robin sees the best in his friend, and demonstrates to Raven how important she is to him and the rest of the Titans. Ultimately, Teen Titans is a show about friendship, and I don't think any other scene in the series conveys that better than this one. The crazy part about Teen Titans is that every character is the best character. As oxymoronic as that sounds, it's still true. But if you've come this far into the video, you might be thinking, why does any of this matter? This is a cartoon for children. And you're absolutely right. This is a kid's show intended primarily for kids to enjoy. And while adults will get a lot out of watching the series as well, let's talk about Teen Titans' importance as a children's cartoon. Kid shows will usually have some important lesson or moral to explain to its audience, but Teen Titans routinely shows its lessons to its audience in addition to telling them. The Teen Titans are teenagers, and they aren't perfect. They get on each other's nerves, they argue and bicker with one another, and they even question the benefits of their coexistence from time to time. But at the end of the day, the Titans make it clear over and over and over again that they are friends and they have each other's backs. Teen Titans is essentially one long life lesson in how to be a good friend, and that's an incredibly important skill for any child to learn. Teen Titans shows you that even if you're weird or quiet, even if you're uncomfortable with displaying your emotions and your affection for your friends, that doesn't make you or those feelings any less valid. Nor does it make you any less valid if you're too hard on yourself, or if you're anxious about what your friends think about you, or if you're uncomfortable with your appearance, or if you're trying too hard to fit in. I think it's really important that no matter what kind of kid or person you are, Teen Titans recognizes you as unique and valuable. Teen Titans teaches you to care about its characters, and Teen Titans teaches you to care about you. And that is why Teen Titans is better than you remember. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed listening to me gush about Teen Titans as much as I enjoyed gushing about Teen Titans. If that's the case, liking, sharing, and commenting on the video is greatly appreciated. Now, you may have noticed that I left one Titan out of the conversation, and that's because Tara is getting her own video. If you don't want to miss that, make sure to subscribe to my channel, but until then, stay safe, wash your hands, and I will see you guys soon.